Mortal Kombat is available now on HBO Max and in theaters. I'm here to tell you how I felt about it. Finish him. Hey, Outlaw Nation. This is the Outlaw John Rocha back again with another review here on the Outlaw Nation channel. Well, today I'm reviewing a film that I was looking forward to very, very much. One of the final things I got to do with Collider was to go down to a set visit in Australia for Mortal Kombat. It was so much fun to be down there and kind of talking to the people involved with the production, hearing some of the music before it was ever released, watching some of the dailies, getting to walk on the sets where some of these sequences were going to be filmed for the movie, and getting to talk to some of the actors who were going to be involved in this production as well. And I got to tell you, I came away from that set visit really excited for what this film was going to be. You know, I'd watched the 1995 original, totally get its kitsch factor, totally get that people like it. It's a guilty pleasure movie for sure, but at the end of the day, I didn't think it was that good of a movie, certainly in the less said about the subsequent sequels, the better. So I thought coming out of this, and certainly from what they had said during our interviews with them and conversations with them, they made it very, very clear that their approach to this movie was more of a serious approach. They appreciated the 1995 original, but they wanted to make a movie that was certainly going to appeal to a broad base of people, to people who are huge into the mythology of Mortal Kombat, to people who are just casual game players, maybe played it once in a blue moon, and to people who have no idea of what the Mortal Kombat universe is all about. They were certainly hoping to get those people on board. And I'll tell you my thoughts about the movie in just a second. Let's first get into who is involved with this. It's from director Simon Mcquoid, who's he's an award-winning Australian commercial director. This is his feature film directorial debut. It was produced by James Wan. Everybody knows who James Wan is. Tard Garner, Mcquoid himself, and E. Bennett Walsh. Those are the producers behind this one. It's also written by a couple of people who I want to point out here. Greg Russo, who hasn't done much that I've seen, but he's got a project coming in after this one. But Dave Callahan is involved in this one. Dave Callahan, I remember him writing some episodes for Jean-Claude Van Johnson, but more than anything else, I've enjoyed him in the Expendables universe. He's done a nice job writing those films for what they're, but he also, he did the story for Godzilla. He was a part of the writing team for Zombieland Double Tap, Wonder Woman 1984. He's got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings coming, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, The Expendables 4. All those are coming from him. So I was expecting a better written film than we got. I was expecting something more, I guess, at the end of the day. And I know a lot of people are saying, I've seen some of the reviews from people saying, oh, it's a Mortal Kombat movie. What were you expecting? I was expecting a damn good movie, because this is the vibe they gave us on the set visit, that they were ready to do something that was a little bit above than what we'd seen before. They wanted this film to kind of stand out and maybe break that pattern of video game movies that aren't good. And so I was excited to go into this one. And at the end of the day, I guess I should say it now, at the end of the day, I wasn't 100%. I'm going to say this. It's an okay movie. There are certainly some cool action sequences, some fun fight scenes, but overall, I came away from this one not feeling like they didn't quite hit the mark. And it's unfortunate, because I think you had some people involved in this production who wanted to hit the mark on this one and do well. And look, judging from the box office, certainly it's doing well at the box office. And there's already talks about a sequel. Certainly they tease a certain character coming into the sequel. And the WWE's The Miz is excited about maybe trying to play this character or getting the role to play this character in the sequel. We shall see overall. But let me give you a little bit of the plot synopsis of this movie. MMA fighter Cole Young, and this is who Louis Tan plays. Cole Young is a character they created for the movie. He's essentially the audience for the people who have no knowledge of the Mortal Kombat universe. Cole Young kind of stands in their place. So he's experiencing this Mortal Kombat world and asking these questions about the Mortal Kombat world as the audience might. So Cole Young he's accustomed to taking a beating for money. He is unaware of his heritage or why Outworld's Emperor Shang Tsung has sent his best warrior Sub-Zero, an otherworldly cryomancer, to hunt Cole down. Fearing for his family's safety, Cole goes in search of Sonya Blade at the direction of Jax, a special forces major who bears the same strange dragon marking Cole was born with. Soon he finds himself at the temple of Lord Raiden. That's my favorite character in the game. An elder god and the protector of Earthrealm who grants sanctuary to those who bear the mark. Here, Cole trains with experienced warriors like Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and rogue mercenary Kano as he prepares to stand with Earth's greatest champions against the enemies of Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. But will Cole be pushed hard enough to unlock his arcana, which is the immense power from within his soul, in time to save not only his family, but to stop Outworld once and for all? So when the film is presented to you right off the bat, we have a really great sequence with Hiroyuki Sanada, who is playing a Scorpion, a.k.a. Hanzo Hasashi. He is attacked by Sub-Zero. This is centuries before the film is set. He is attacked by Sub-Zero, and in the end, he is taken out and sent into some kind of hell where his spirit stays, the worst realms of hell where his spirit stays, as Sub-Zero tries to wipe out his bloodline, and Shang Tsung tries to take over this competition. Apparently, Earthworld has lost 9 competitions in a row to Outworld, and if they lose another one, Outworld essentially takes over Earthworld and enslaves everybody to their rule, to Shang Tsung's rule. So that's basically the situation here. And I will tell you this right now. It's called Mortal Kombat. There is no tournament in the movie. This I found to be a huge mistake by the producers and the director and the writers here. I don't know how you call something Mortal Kombat and not have a tournament. There are fight scenes. Certainly there's good versus evil. Certainly there's a team of good versus a team of evil. And this is kind of what it feels like to me almost. It's like a sports movie where you have Lord Raiden, who's the coach of the good team, and you have Shang Tsung, who's the coach of the bad team. And Shang Tsung is trying to kind of fix the game here so that there isn't even a tournament for Lord Raiden to send his people to be able to have the fight. Now, I don't know if the reason they didn't have the tournament is so that they could have the tournament in the sequel and then bring in, the character they teased at the end of this one to be a part of it. I don't know if that was the whole point, but I think it's a mistake not to put a tournament in this film. Certainly there are fights between good versus evil throughout, team fights, kind of like a WWE Survivor Series type situation, but there isn't an overall tournament for sure. Let's go through some of these actors who are part of this thing. As I mentioned, Lewis Tan as Cole Young, Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade. I've seen Jessica McNamee in a number of things. She's an Australian actress, seen her in a number of things. I don't think she quite gets there as Sonya Blade. There are moments that feel I don't know, just not believable in some of the scenes that she delivers. You can see that she's trying to deliver this dialogue, trying to bring out the emotion in the scenes, but she doesn't 100% quite get there. I think I'd have to say the same thing for Lewis Tan. I've seen Lewis Tan do better work. I like Lewis Tan. I've met Lewis Tan. One of the nicest dudes you're ever going to meet. So happy for everything that's happening in his career. Certainly, he's done better work. So you have to, at the end of the day, you have to wonder if this is really the actor's issue, or if this is a first-time director not knowing how to get the best out of his actors, or if the screenplay wasn't the best, so these actors weren't able to deliver such great lines. But of course, you can counter that by saying Rebecca Hall had some really, really cheesy lines to deliver Godzilla versus Kong, and she got the job done. So you could argue that as well. One of the standouts of the movie, Joss Lawson as Kano. Absolutely. Holy crap. Does he steal every scene he is in? I've seen other reviews talking about it as well, and I have to echo their feelings about it. He absolutely steals this thing. And look, Kano is not an important character in the games. How can I say this? Not that he's not important. He's not that interesting of a character in the games. Certainly Joss Lawson deserves kudos for making him an interesting character in this game, or in this film rather. But there are moments, he has some homophobic jokes that I think are a bit off. And I've seen some people online who've been upset that he's a bit of an Australian stereotype. I can totally understand that. I can totally appreciate a little bit of anger being thrown his way for what he's doing. But he stands out because he's damn good with those jokes and those cracks throughout the whole movie. Joe Taslim is fantastic as Sub-Zero. Of course, those of you who know him from the Raid franchise, that's certainly something to talk about. Mehcad Brooks does a decent job with Jax, but they kind of introduce him really awkwardly and clumsily and asking Cole Young to believe way too much, way too quickly. And then he kind of gets sidelined, and then we see him show up at the end. So not the best use, in my opinion, of Mehcad Brooks. Brooks, so I can't 100% judge his performance in this movie. Tadanobu Asano plays Lord Raiden. That's my favorite character. Certainly gets moments to stand out for sure throughout the movie. I enjoyed seeing him, seeing Lord Raiden in the movie. I'm excited about that. And for those of you who don't know who he is, with you, the actors, you've seen him. If you've seen the Thor movies, he plays Hogun in the Thor movies. So that is who's playing Lord Raiden. And I would like to have seen more, as I said, because he's my favorite character, but he certainly acquits himself well in the scenes that he gets to perform in. Hiroyuki Sanada, what can I say? Already echoed his praise earlier, but he brings a weight, a gravitas, seriousness to his role as Scorpion, aka Hanzo Hansashi, that when he shows up for the final battle against Sub-Zero, it is absolutely badass. Chin Han plays Shang Tsung. Chin Han, some of you remember him from The Dark Knight. Ludi Lin does a good job with Liu Kang. I think Max Huang does a nice job with Kung Lao. There are characters within this movie that you've seen from the games. There are evil characters, good characters seen from the games. Some of the mythology is certainly going to feel very reminiscent. They did change some stuff around from the overall mythology of the game to make it fit to what they were going for. I totally understand why you do that. And there is a lot of gore in this movie. Certainly, there's someone getting cut in half by a spinning hat. So literally cut in half, like Bone Tomahawk cut in half, like from the top down, not from the side. So pretty gruesome stuff here. Certainly a lot of blood. They certainly earned their R rating. But I think maybe in going for the gore, they forgot that we got to have these scenes where we're seeing these characters connect with each other, really develop relationships with each other. And I don't think they 100% get there. Certainly the effort is there. It just doesn't 100% feel like these people actually care about each other in a deeper level. And you kind of need that to be cheering these people on for sure. And certainly Louis Tam with his family. It's a little weird. Cole Young, aka Cole Young, with his family is like, hey, I'll be right back. And then he just disappears for days on end, shows up again, has to head on back after he discovers his arcana to fight. So it's a family that's presented, but not much that is connected here that you can feel until the end there. In the final fight, you sense his pain that Sub-Zero has kind of subdued his family and captured his family, kind of motivates him for the final fight. So here's what I'll tell you at the end of the day. Some of you may enjoy this movie, and I totally respect that. Look, I'm a guy who likes the Transformers movies. I totally get it if you want to enjoy some of the cheesiness here, some of the fun stuff, certainly enjoying the characters coming to life from the video game yet again. Totally can understand that. I just think for me, I wanted something more because of the way it was presented, and I was hoping to get something a little more serious, a little more deeper. And in the end, I felt a lot of these emotional beats were rushed. A lot of these fight sequences weren't 100% earned, even though they were well choreographed, beautifully choreographed, just weren't 100% earned. And at the end of the day, there's no tournament. So I don't understand why you have a Mortal Kombat movie with no tournament overall. If you're going to sacrifice the tournament to spend more time with these characters, then we're going to need to see better scenes of connection. That's it. That's best. That's at the end of the day. I give this thing 2.5, not cowboy hats, 2.5 Lord Raidens. I give it 2.5 Lord Raidens overall. Certainly there are some watchable scenes in this movie, but overall I don't think 100% gets there. But as I said, it's got a sequel coming probably, and it's doing well at the box office. So I don't think we're done with the Mortal Kombat universe anytime soon. I just hope they bring in some people behind the scenes who are going to bring a bit more, I don't know, a bit more knowledge about how to make a more interesting, exciting action film that has some more depth to it. I would like to see that. I know some of you may be like, well, I don't need that in my Mortal Kombat film. Totally respect that. I just would like to see that because I think there's a lot of mythology here to explore, more than just the fight sequences, more than just the fight scenes. And certainly if you've played the video games or you know the lore of the video games, there is a lot here to explore that they can expand upon overall. All right, that's my review here for Mortal Kombat. It's out now in theaters and on HBO Max. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Am I way off base? Am I being a fool? Or do you agree with a lot of what I had to say or some of what I had to say? Let me know what you think about the movie as well. Remember to like this video, share this video on your social media, and most of all, subscribe to the channel down below. More reviews, more trailer reactions, all that stuff coming from the Outlaw Nation channel. Sending you much love. Hope you all are doing well. We'll talk to you next time on another review here on the Outlaw Nation. Be well.